Hello friends, my name is Jess and welcome back to my channel, Books Past Bedtime. In today's video, we're going to be doing a book haul. Now, I haven't hauled any books all year, so I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I've hauled in totality in 2024. Honestly, it's not that many. Like, I've been pretty good about not buying a ton of books. Only 22. For somebody who's already read almost 60 books this year and who typically reads like 150 books a year, like I feel like 20 in 6 months is like honestly pretty good. And 2 of them were gifts. I'm proud of myself, honestly. But let's go ahead and talk about all 20 of these books. I honestly have them kind of sorted into piles of like how I acquired them, so that's just gonna be how we talk about them. The first set of books are from Book of the Month. Honestly, I haven't been loving Book of the Month this year. I have gotten quite a few like backlist books and skipped a few months. But I also had like some credits piled up, so I did one big order at the beginning of the year. Anyway, let's just talk about them. The most recent book I got from Book of the Month is 5 Broken Blades by Mai Corland, and I think this one actually sounds kind of good. It almost sounds Six of Crows-esque. I think it's fantasy. I think it's like got a heist in it. The 5 Broken Blades are 5 different people, and they're all united in their quest to kill the king. This like common goal is not enough for them to trust each other. They have to find another way to like work together and accomplish this, but only one can have the crown after the king's dead. So this sounds very like exciting and interesting, and I'm not sure that this is like super high up on my list of books to read, but if you read it and liked it, please let me know, because I do think it sounds really good, although I would be definitely more tempted to read it if I knew it had some romance in it. Next book I got from Book of the Month is Interesting Facts About Space by Emily Austen. I picked this book up because I believe it has a sapphic main character. This book is general fiction following our main character Enid, who is obsessed with space. She can tell you tons of facts about black holes, but she's not super good about interpersonal relationships, but she does get into her first like serious romantic relationship in this book, while at the same time she undergoes like a bout of paranoia and thinks somebody's following her all over the place. So it says that this is like fast-paced and charming and funny and kind of like looks at aspects of humanity, so I think it sounds really interesting. And obviously every book with a queer character is pretty much on my radar, so when I saw one from Book of the Month, I snapped it up. The next book I got from Book of the Month is No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. I'm not sure exactly when this was a Book of the Month. I think it was just an add-on sometime last year, but I ended up picking it up because I've read thrillers by Kate Alice Marshall before and enjoyed them, so I figured that I would like this one as well if I'm ever in the mood for a thriller. The tagline is 3 sisters, 2 murders, and too many secrets to count. This book follows our main character Emma, who is estranged from her sisters, who she owns this house together with, but when she becomes pregnant, she has to move back to this town, move back into this house where her estranged sisters still live and where they all witnessed their parents murdered. Emma has never told anyone the details of what she saw that night, even when she is like the prime suspect, but it's never been able to be proved. But now that everyone is back together in the same place, some secrets are starting to be revealed. It sounds like a creepy like crime thriller with maybe like some domestic drama thrown in there for good measure. Sounds really good. I, like I said, have liked this author in the past, so I decided to get this one from Book of the Month as well. Another book I got from Book of the Month is Stars in Your Eyes by Case and Callender. Case and Callender's kind of been like a hit or miss for me. They've written like some of my absolute favorite books and also some books that I didn't like, but I have a good feeling about this one. I believe it's an adult romance rom-com with like some celebrity thrown in. Yeah, this book follows Logan and Maddie, who are cast as the main characters in a new rom-com movie, and to stir up buzz for the movie, they are convinced into a fake dating scheme, and of course they end up falling in love. This book sounds good. It sounds like a cute quick read, and hopefully I'll get to it sooner rather than later. Now this next book from Book of the Month, I definitely was persuaded by peer pressure and the internet to acquire, and that is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I've heard kind of mixed things about this, but I think it's a generally pretty loved romance, although it is not queer, unfortunately. But I think that I was most like inspired to pick it up because I realized that it is written in letters, and I actually like love books that are written in like mixed media. I don't know why, I just think it's so fascinating, and I've always loved books like that. Even if I don't necessarily love the content, I love the reading experience. It says it's an epic fantasy enemies to lovers romance where basically the two communicate via anonymous letters, and I think that they're rivals in real life. Another reason I picked this up because I love the anonymous trope. I love when our characters like know or hate each other in real life but start to fall in love like via messaging anonymously. I think it's just a fun trope. So another reason why I picked this up. So with those two things in mind, like I think I might like this one, even if other things and it wouldn't be like my first choice to pick up. I kind of am interested in this. And finally, the only book from Book of the Month in this stack that I've read already, and that is Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. I love Lex Croucher. She writes the most fun, like historical / Regency queer romances, and this one is no different. This one is YA, so it was like a little bit more ridiculous and less emotionally mature than some of her other stuff that I've read, but I still really liked this one. I thought it was really fun. If it means anything to you, it is a King Arthur retelling, which doesn't mean anything to me, but it was still really fun. So basically, Gwen on the cover, Gwen and Art are betrothed. They're meant to be engaged, but they don't really like each other. They actually kind of hate each other. But then Art discovers something about Gwen, and Gwen discovers something about Art, i.e. they're both gay. And so even though they don't like each other, they team up to like try and make things go in their favor, their mutual favor, because Art is in love with Gwen's brother and Gwen is in love with this lady knight. This is just really fun and ridiculous and just a good time. Like, I loved this book. I thought it was so good. And I'm very happy to have it in my possession, especially because it is so pretty and pink. Okay, so that's everything I got from Book of the Month this year. Some really early books that I acquired, I think in January, from a cutie little bookstore in Palm Springs are these two, The Celebrants by Stephen Rowley and the 5th volume of Heartstopper. The Celebrants by Stephen Rowley is an adult fiction book, and it involves a group of friends. They've been college friends and have met up like once a year, every year, to kind of keep their relationships going, as well as to like remind themselves that life is worth living. Except our main character has a big secret this year that's going to change everything. I have heard that this book is queer and beautifully written, and just kind of like an exploration into like growing up and what that means, and growing into your like personhood, and just like questions of what it means to be human. So I think that this one sounds really good, and it just felt very fitting to buy in Palm Springs because I'm pretty sure Stephen Rowley is like from Palm Springs, and this book is set in like the desert of California, so very windy outside. Acquired this one, and then at the same bookstore I also got the 5th volume of Heartstopper. Like I said, I fucking love Heartstopper. If you don't know, this is a YA comic series following Nick and Charlie, who are two high school boys who fall in love, and it's about their friend group and their relationship and how it grows with them. It's kind of coming of age. It's very sweet, very cute, very lovely, handles difficult topics as well, but with care and respect, and this is just a lovely comfort series for me. And so I obviously had to pick up this volume when it came out. It came out in December, I think, but I didn't end up getting it until January, but that's okay. I have of course since read it and absolutely loved it. Speaking of Heartstopper, I didn't actually buy this book for myself. Gabby got this for me, but that is the Waterstone special edition of volume 4 of Heartstopper. I have all of the other volumes of this, like these special editions, but I hadn't gotten this 4th one yet, and I don't have the 5th one either. I'm not sure if the 5th one's out or not. I don't live in the UK, so I can't just go into a bookstore and find out. But yeah, really love this. So beautiful, so cute. I love collecting special editions of Heartstopper. Another book that was gifted to me was very exciting. This is my very first like physical ARC that I was reached out to by a publisher and sent. That is The Ride of Her Life by Jennifer Dugan. This is a Yeehaw Sapphic contemporary romance. I think it's kind of Hallmark-esque, in which our main character is a city girl, but she inherits this farm from somebody in her family, and she goes to the farm and meets the love interest who is like working on the farm and doesn't think the city girl belongs there, but of course they end up falling in love. Honestly, I've been like craving a queer cowboy romance. Like every time I saw Done and Dusted, I really thought it was a lesbian couple and I got excited, but of course that's a straight romance. So I'm hoping that this is what I've been craving, and I'm so excited to read it. I have a reading vlog coming out this month where I'm going to be reading this one. Super excited for that. Then on a recent trip to Barnes & Noble, I picked up these two books that are like semi-new releases. I got The Prospects by K.T. Hoffman. This is a contemporary sports romance following our main character Gene, who is the first openly trans professional baseball player, and his romance with a rival teammate. I've already started this one. I'm currently reading it, and it is so good and so cute. The writing is incredible. I like want to say that this is a debut book, which is insane because it's so good, and I just like can't wait for the romance to kick in and for everything to start. I love a good sports romance, and this one is just perfection so far. And then I also picked up the 3rd book in the Green Creek series, which is called Heartsong by TJ Klune. This is TJ Klune's like werewolf Omegaverse romance series. Like I said, this is the third book and it tells a story of Robbie and Kelly. Each book in this series is like following a different pairing. And this one, like the narrator is Robbie and he falls in love with Kelly. I've also started this one. I'm like 100 pages into this one. Let me tell you, it's fucking crazy. Like everything that I thought I knew when I started this book ends up not being what's actually going on, which is crazy. So I can't wait to have this. I really want to get the other books in the series now that I know I love this series and like this new edition. And Brother Song, the fourth book, comes out in this edition in July next month, so I have to pick that one up too. They're just so pretty. I love them and I really just am loving this series so much, so got this one. And then I recently went to this indie bookstore, I think it was in Columbus, called the Book Loft. Literally the cutest bookstore ever. Of course I had to get 4 books. First of which is Going Public by Hudson Lynn. This is a male-male boss employee romance. Has a demi main character, which I love the asexuality rep. I didn't love this one though. I actually purchased this for a reading project that will be out this month. It was one of the last books that I had to read for that video, and it's honestly like kind of hard to come by. It's not available in the library or anything, so when I saw it at that bookstore I was like, I'm just gonna get it. I would only recommend if you're like okay with reading about capitalism and dubious, morally questionable decision making. The romance itself was like okay, kind of cute, but the things going on in the background were really fucking weird. Next, I picked up Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne, mostly because it had sprayed edges and I thought they were so pretty. This is a cozy sapphic fantasy romance, as far as I understand. I think it's kind of Legends and Lattes-esque. It follows Raina and Chianthi, who decide to leave their busy lives to open up a tea and bookshop and just kind of live the quiet life together. And then they have like a little cozy romance situation and bookshop deal, which sounds really cute. I've actually heard good things. Somebody recommended this to me or told me they were reading it, and so when I saw it at that bookshop with the sprayed edges, I was like, okay, I have to have this. I have to have it. I had to have it. I also picked up A Rake of His Own by AJ Lancaster because I read the description and it just sounded so good. It sounded right up my alley, so I was like, I also need this one. The tagline of this book is just so good. It says, Marius doesn't know which is worse, the dead body in his greenhouse or the naked fae prints on his desk. So I think that this is historical, like Regency romance, but also fantasy. And there's also like a murder mystery going on. And Marius and the Fae, who he does have a sordid history with, have to team up to solve this mystery. And it just sounds like my perfect book. So I had to have it. It sounds so good. And it's so wonderfully floppy. And the last book that I picked up at that bookshop was Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White. This is a book that I've literally picked up at like every bookstore that I've been to the last couple of months and like wanted to buy. So I was like, I'm just gonna buy it. This is a YA horror with a trans man character. Andrew Joseph White is a trans man who actually went to my college, which I just think is cool, and I think that's why I have such a kinship and like need to pick up his books. This book follows 16-year-old trans boy Benji, who is on the run from the cult that raised him and also the cult that single-handedly released Armageddon and decimated the world's population, which sounds fucking insane. It also sounds like it has some found family going on in this group that Benji finds who kind of help shelter him, and a little bit of a romance with their leader. It honestly sounds so good and I need like a good excuse to read this. I'm like working on too many projects right now to read this, but I want to read it so bad. Alright, and last but certainly not least, I have recently subscribed to a book box that I have been loving. It's called Rainbow Crate. I'm subscribed to both Rainbow Crate monthly and Rainbow Crate After Dark, which is quarterly and smutty. And these are all queer books. Each box comes with a traditionally published queer book and an indie published queer book. And the Rainbow Crate After Dark, both of them are smutty. So the first month that I've subscribed, I think that this is the March box, came with Junker 7 and Icarus. Junker 7 by Olive Kelly was the indie published one, and it's literally so beautiful. It has the most beautiful sprayed edges. It's literally insane. All of these books are like, the traditionally published has a special edition dust jacket as well as the regular dust jacket, and the indie published is a like completely new printing. So it's a really good deal, honestly, especially if you love queer books like me. So Castor is our non-binary main character, and they get this offer that they can't turn down because it's so much money, and that is to smuggle transgender activist Juno Marcus across the galaxy. It's too dangerous to accept but too valuable to refuse, and it doesn't help that Juno and Castor are gonna fall in love. you know, complicates matters even more. So they're going on this journey across the universe to help hopefully get Juno to safety. Just sounds extremely cute. It's also pretty short, which is fun. I'm super excited about this, and I never would have heard about it if not for this book box. And the other book that came in that box was Icarus by Kay Ingram. I love Kay Ingram to death, so I'm so excited to have their newest release as well. This is the original cover of Icarus. Now this is like a mythological retelling as far as I can tell. Icarus is a thief. He is an art thief. He steals art and replaces it with forgeries. And one day Icarus is caught not by the person who owns the art but by his son, who is like kept captive in this house, and the two form this friendship and then this romance that might be worth Icarus risking everything for. This book sounds really good. Icarus is a intersex character, which is super interesting. There's not a ton of books about intersex characters, and I trust Kay Ingram to handle that with love and care and grace, so I'm excited to read this book. And I think that this goes back to like vignette chapters, like similar prose to The Wicker King, which was the first book I read by Kay Ingram and loved. So I'm kind of excited to go back because the last few books I've read by Kay Ingram weren't as successful for me as their first couple, so I am excited for this book very much. I'm so happy to have it. All right, now we have some unboxings to do. So I have the rainbow crate for April right here, I think, or May. I don't know what month. They're kind of behind, I think. And then I have the most recent Rainbow After Dark. So I don't actually know exactly what's in here. I knew at one point, but this will be a fun experience because I'm not quite sure what's in here. It's so cute with the rainbow paper. Ooh, there's this little print. I want Zombody to love. I guess we're getting zombies. Ooh, a little bookmark. So cute. A book plate. And our first book. This, I believe, is the indie book. It's called Monsters Within Men by T.D. Rose. And it's got some silver foil on the cover, which is so fun. It's a very, like, square book. I don't know if it's just because it's been in the thing, but so cool. Oh my god, look at the edges. What the heck? They're so cool. Oh my god, this art. Oh my god. What the hell? It's so beautiful. Alright, this is set in London 30 years into the future in which the zombie apocalypse has happened. We're following Noah and Zeke. Noah is the leader of this squadron of soldiers who are trying to fight for the survival of humanity, and Zeke is the newest recruit, and they have a little romance while they're trying to save their lives. This sounds so fun and right up my alley. I don't know how like into zombies I am, but I do love a romance with like some fantasy or other elements going on. So like a not contemporary, not real life romance. So I'm really excited about this. And then the next book also has a little signed book plate. And this is Heart Still Beating by Brooke Archer. This is the beautiful rainbow crate dust jacket, and this is the traditional dust jacket. Very lovely, very beautiful. So this is a YA sapphic zombie romance, and in it one of our main characters was infected with the like zombie sickness, but like experimentally maybe cured, and she's sent to live with her former best friend who she hasn't seen since the world ended. And they also had their first kiss that night, so there's some, you know, girl on girl tension going on. It sounds really good and interesting, so yeah, super excited for this one as well. I love this book box because like I haven't heard of these books, but they sound so good and they're all queer. Like this is literally iconic. Like I'm gonna link this down below so you guys can subscribe to this box because it's literally the best, and it's also the best because it doesn't come with a lot of junk. I'm not a trinket girly, so I enjoy that it's just the books and like the signed book plates and the bookmark. Maybe that's just me, but I love it. Can't recommend this book box enough. Now let's get into the Rainbow After Dark crate. Like I said, this one only comes quarterly. This is my first one that I'm getting, so I'm so excited. Here's a little signed book plate. It is very spicy. And here's the other one, also quite spicy. And the theme is angels and demons. Oh my god. This fucking dust jacket is insane. The sprayed edges. What the fuck? Oh my god. So this book is called AITA. Obviously, Am I the Asshole is what it stands for. That's, if you don't know, like a little subreddit where people write in, am I the asshole for doing da-da-da? And the back says, am I the asshole for not wanting to summon a demon for a threesome before my wedding? This past weekend, my fiance, 24M, and I, 23F, were at a party at a friend's, and I'll admit we got pretty wasted. Apparently sometime that night he asked me if it was okay to summon a demon for a threesome before our wedding, and according to him I told him yes. I don't actually remember this happening, but his friends must have heard me because a week later they'd all pitched in to have a delectably demonic summoning kit delivered to our house. I want to put my foot down, but that would make him sad. I think he's really looking forward to it after I told him it'd be okay, and his friends really did spend a lot of money on this thing. It's top of the line and they can't return it. You know how demons are. So I kind of feel like a jerk. I mean, I did say yes and I don't want to let him down. I can't tell him no. If I tell him no, am I the asshole? Here's the lovely inside art. It's kind of giving anime. So the little book plate says that it's WLW, a lesbian main character, and a bisexual main character, and it has a 3-star spice level. So I'm getting the gist that the demon and the girl in the relationship fall in love, which I like. So this sounds really fun. Oh my god, there's some really spicy art in there. I love it. Oh my god. I can't show it on YouTube. I literally can't. All right, moving on. Oh my god, this looks so pretty. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Is this not like the most beautiful fucking book you've ever seen in your life? Like the gold foil, the edges, the colors. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, this is the naked book. What? That is insane. I've never seen anything so fucking beautiful before in my life. Oh. Oh. What the hell? I can't get over that. That's fucking crazy. You've got to be kidding me. What does the inside of this one look like? Oh my god. This one's crazy too. It says the beginner's guide to summoning a demon, and it's all in gold foil. This is the heart. This is the book. This is the naked book. Are you... Did I just flash the... For the average girl looking to have a good time. You're kidding. This is the... I wish I had been subscribed to this book box forever. This is literally the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh my god, I didn't even see this. It just keeps getting better. Oh my god. All right. Let's talk about this book. This is an MLM romance, and it follows a priest and an angel, which is just great. So basically our main character, Ilya, is a prince, and he's like the pariah of his small town. He is tasked with killing a monster that somebody found in the woods, but instead of killing that monster, he heals its injuries and lifts a curse, revealing a handsome, memoryless man. The man, Danya, is lost in an unfamiliar world, and as he struggles to like recall his past, I think he like lives with this priest and they fall in love. I can't get over how fucking beautiful these books are. Like, this is so unfair and crazy. What the hell? What the hell? I have no words. Honestly, these books, like, they even kind of like go well together. Like, they're both kind of like celestial, geometric. Like, they're so beautiful. What the fuck? Subscribe to Rainbow After Dark. If you take anything from this video, subscribe to these fucking book boxes. They're so good. They're so good. Okay. That's all. Those are all the books that I've hauled in 2024. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will link Rainbow Crate down below. Please subscribe. I also have a discount code for Book of the Month if you're interested in subscribing to them. That's always linked down below. Also linked down below are my social media links if you want to follow me on any other platform. If this is your first time to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you wanted to subscribe. That button is down below. It's always free to subscribe. It's also always free to like the video, helps me out. Also free to leave a comment if you have anything to share with. If you want to screech over the Rainbow Crate books with me, that would be fantastic. I think that's all I have to say. So thank you so much for being here, for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.